USA.
Okay, so turn that down a little bit. I'm doing 308 on this loadmaster, and I'm going to show you probably the best way to do this. So I'm going to pick this up. Stations 1 and 2 are empty, obviously, for me. My brass is all sized, all trimmed. So nothing and nothing. And then I don't have nothing to point with, but there are these little I guess you call them bars, and they hold the brass into the station. Well, the bar on the prime side is really pushing the brass in to keep its center over the shell plate, because I don't want to use the sizer here and prime. That's what Lee recommends, but I don't want to do that. With all the brass done, all we're doing is we're going to prime here. We're going to charge, seat, crimp, and then into the box. So I'll set this camera back down. And this is faster than single stage, but obviously it can be faster. I just set them in there. Nothing happens here. Prime it. Over. Charge it. And I dwell here for just a second, just to make sure. Over to the seating area. And this is a 308, but we are going to be using a 300 blackout. 130 grain flat base hollow point. And I've been getting really good accuracy with this bullet out of my AR-10. I had to do a little trickery, and I had to really do a lot of load development. But I get pretty dang good accuracy from this bullet. The bullet, I'm not sure who it's made by. And my crimp, by the way, my crimp is very light. I bought these bullets. They were pulled bullets, and the company is thinking that it's a Remington bullet. They can't remember what they pulled them from, but I've had really good success with this bullet. So, and I don't, you can get into production and you can keep putting them in and just, you know, but I'm not really going for speed. I'm just doing these one at a time. Just kind of killing the day. I don't, have enough powder to load all these bullets anyway. I bought 500 of them. So, I'm in no rush. But, if you would like to see what that looks like going into production, if you will, and running all five stations, then, or if you were in a hurry, you know what I mean. Whoops, that one didn't quite go all the way. Okay. Back that one just a bit. So now we've just about went full circle, and now we will have all 5 stations pulled, or full. And this is the first time I've done 308 on this Loadmaster. I've done 9 mil 45 223 is what I have, but I broke my 223 down because I've always done my 45 or my 308 single stage. But I broke the 223 down. Whoops. Because I wanted to try out 308 on this press. I need to get a turret, and I need to get a case-activated system for my other Hornady powder measure. That's what's keeping me from doing 308 on this press. Well, I finally broke down and said, you know, I'll take my 223 down. I do the 223 exactly the same way. Exactly. And so I said, well, it's only 2 dies, and then adjusting my powder measure. So I broke the 223 down just to try the 308 out. And thought I would just make a video of it. I got it all set up last night. Setting it up was easy. I just used an already loaded round. Got everything pretty close, and then got my powder measure adjusted, and it's been throwing plus or minus a grain. This isn't super obviously match ammunition. But I'm getting about 415 yards so far out of a 12.5 inch AR-10. That was with a 110 grain 308 bullet. I haven't stepped out to try these 130s at distance yet, but at 100 it's holding about inch to 3/4. So I think for a 12.5 inch gun, that's pretty good. But anyway, you get the process. As far as production goes, so I'm going to go back to really doing these one at a time. I like to do it, at least in the 308 anyway, I prefer doing it one at a time, because I still get to keep an eye on each individual round. You know, I don't want to get going too fast. While these aren't super match loads, I still want consistency. So every 5th round, I'm checking overall length. And every few rounds, well, maybe 1 out of 5, I'm still checking the powder measure versus the thrower, you know. I mean, my scale versus my measure, I guess, if that's what you want to say. But, you know, you can get a lot of rounds coming off of there. I have a classic cast, and that's usually how I do 308 with a measure, you know, and just measure, you know, throw the measure, and I get, 20 or 30 of them charged, and then I seat them, and then I prime 20, and then I charge those 20, and then I'll seat a bullet in those 20. Well, that's, kind of quick, but I wanted to bring it all over here because I got 500 of these, and I want to get them done and boxed up, But anyway, that's just a quick overview of, doing 223 308 on this Loadmaster. For me, now, you could get bullet feeders, you can get, Hornady, now they have those rifle bullet feeding dies, and you can get, I've seen, the Dillon case trimmers, and you can go from point A to point B on this press. You can get a seating crimping die. I prefer the mic dies because they're, more consistent, more concentric. But you can get seating crimping dies if that's how you want to do it, and you can crush out the ammo. But I prefer, to decap, size all my ammo, then go out and then trim all that ammo. Trim all that brass, I mean. Decap, size on the press, then go out, trim all that brass, tumble all that brass, bring it in, and then load it this way. For the average guy who can't afford some high-end expensive Dillon case trimmers right on the machine and Hornady rifle bullet feeders, this really works for me anyway. And I like spending a little time at the press though. So for the guys who don't, they just hate being at their press, maybe this ain't for you, maybe you want to spend the extra money so that 2-3 hours you can get 1,000 rounds loaded up and get your ammo cans full and you're done. So I don't know, but anyway, that's it. Just wanted to make a little video of that for you, let you see that in action. And I love this Lee Loadmaster. Every press has its problems, but I don't have very many problems out of this. There's very few things about this press that I dislike. So, and I had the money. I was gonna get a Hornady lock and load press, not the ammo plant kit, but the press itself. But I'm just really liking this Lee system. I had a Lee Loadmaster before this, and really enjoyed it, but had to get rid of it, and then ended up getting the same thing back. So, anyway, that's it. I don't want to ramble too much, but if you have any questions about it, shoot me a message.